So, we'll start first of all with the team manager, Mark. I mean, first season in charge of the club as director of Speedway, it was a tremendous year for the Aces, for the Colts and for the club in general, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was, but obviously that's the signs of the history books now. We focus on, we've got some fresh faces in the Aces team. We've got some, regulars from the 5 regulars from last year's team, which bodes well for continuity. I think that's part of the secret to the success in most clubs. So we're all looking forward to it. Pretty pumped. It's an exciting time of the year, the start of the season, and everyone's eager to go.
I mean, you just touched on there, continuity is key to a good team vibe, and we've all seen how successful that's been in previous years. I mean, we've made the playoffs now for 3 straight seasons in a row, for 2015, 16, 17. 2 new lads in the team this year, Jared, of course, and Damien Druge. Looks like they're already kind of meshing well together with the lads that are already well established here at Bellevue.
Yeah, I mean, Jai obviously did a couple of guest bookings for us last year, so he's obviously familiar with the guys, and obviously Damien races with Max Frick in Roslade and spent a bit of time with him just recently. So we've been down to the Media City and sort of checked out the place and done a bit of team bonding. So I think they're good to go. Obviously it's very important. Obviously 5 guys from last year, so they already know each other, know how they work and operate, and they know what sort of business we like to run under. So having that familiarity or whatever.
Familiarity.
Yeah, stuff and words is very vital, I think there's fun times, jovial times, like just trying to get the boys up here just now was quite interesting to say the least. So it's good.
Absolutely, and not much time really for these guys to sort of settle down. We're right into the action on Monday against Swindon Robins, the reigning champions, versus the 2017 Knockout Cup champions. Fantastic way to start the year. Yeah,
exactly. Silverware's up for grabs straight away. So it's might as well get down to business. We left off last year winning the Knockout Cup, which was great. The first trophy in 12 years for the club. You sort of wait for a bus and then 2 come along. So hopefully that's the case with the 2018 campaign. So we really sort of focus on winning stuff, and I think everyone enjoys that. So I think we're all eager to get going.
Absolutely. And Craig, if I can come to you next, I mean, Mark's just touched on there how much you guys want to win stuff, and I don't think there's a single rider in this team who wants to win stuff more than yourself. You've made that quite clear over the last few seasons, haven't you?
Yeah, I love winning, absolutely, and won a couple of things myself last year, so hopefully I can go on and win a couple more trophies with the club. Unfortunately I wasn't part of the Knockout Cup, but I'd love to go on and win the league with the club. And unfortunately I won't be the captain this year, but me and Lemo will come to an agreement that Steve would probably be the better man. That will allow me to really consolidate on my own riding and focus on my job that I've got to do. So Steve's a very level-headed character, and I generally think he's the right man for the job.
I mean, you've got a lot of new things for you this year. I mean, you're stepping up to Premiership #1, you're moving into the Grand Prix full time, you'll be defending your British crown here on home soil, so there's a lot on the cards for you in 2018.
Yeah, there is, but I feel going into this season there's the least amount of pressure on me than ever has been in the last however many seasons. So I'm very relaxed going into the season. Feel very composed, and I'm really looking forward to the season. I've got everything in order, and I'm in a very good place right now. So I'm looking forward to it, and let's just have to win together.
Hopefully it's a good year for yourself and for the Aces. Now Stevie, as Craig's just touched on there, you're taking up the skipper's mantle from him this year. You touched on it a few times last season, sort of deputising for Craig when he was not able to take his place for us. A big commitment for you this season to be captain of this, quite frankly, very strong-looking Bellevue Aces side.
It is, yeah. I had a good few little goals last year when Craig was missing, and I quite enjoy it. And as Craig said, I'm kind of the guy who could take over that. No, I enjoy that side of it, and not someone to just sit in the corner and put my headphones in type thing. I like to get involved, and if I can help the team as much as I can, or help anyone in any way I can, I'm always there to do that. So I feel like I'll really take up that job. So I'm looking forward to getting a full season at it.
I mean, you've mentioned previously that you sort of thrive on being busy. Now, you're skippering the Scunthorpe Scorpions in the Championship. captaining the Belle races in the Premiership. We've got 2 meetings within the space of a week of each other. Twin Bobbins next Monday, and then Belle's 90th anniversary celebrations the week after against some pretty strong-looking riders. So again, a busy start to the year, isn't it?
It is, yeah. There's a lot going on to start the year, and sadly the weather's not really played ball with us to get out as much as we can to be as well prepared with bike time as we can, but we'll take that as it comes. I am looking forward to it. There's some really exciting meetings. Obviously they've put a really strong lineup together for the Peter Fraser meeting, so it'd be good to start the season with that one and see where we are with the preparation and everything going against them guys.
Now at Rentruck, now I have to say, the end of last year, I think you just blew everybody away who watched the Melbourne Grand Prix. If you weren't familiar, Rowan, it was a GP reserve for the Melbourne Speedway Grand Prix at the end of last season. Went out in the 2 ride appearances he made, won both of his heats against some world-class riders, and I think the only rider at the moment who has bragging rights can say he's never been beaten in a Grand Prix race. That must be a pretty special feeling.
Yeah, it was a pretty good experience, and something I'll never forget. But no, I had a good end of the season, and yeah, to do that was really nice. So now I'm looking forward to the season, and I mean, look, we've got a good team, so it should be good.
I mean, Stevie was touching on there how you know, these guys, you guys want to get as much track time as possible in the winter months, and you certainly followed up from that Grand Prix appearance with a tremendous performance in the Australian National Championships. I mean, just sort of talk me through how it felt going into that final round, level pegging with Brady Kurtz of the Pool Pirates. Yeah,
there was a bit of pressure there, and yeah, it was both on the line for us, so yeah, we were both a bit nervous and whatever, but no, it's a nice feeling to win in the end. So good start to the year, and hopefully continue.
I mean, Rowan last year came to us about halfway through the season. Started the year with the Somerset Rebels. Was a bit of a devil when he came here on the Maybank holiday with the opposition and just tore up the track, but he joined us midway through the season, and since then has really sort of grown and developed into this amazing international caliber rider. I mean, what are your sort of ambitions for this season in terms of sort of getting out of your comfort zone and maybe looking to see what other achievements you could make maybe on the international stage?
Yeah, it's just plug away, and I've got some goals, so yeah, I'll just try and be consistent and do the best for Bellevue and hopefully get some silverware at the end.
Happy days, let's hope so. Damien, I'll come to you again. First season riding over here in Great Britain. We've had a little bit of conversation when we first announced you. You're really looking forward to being here. What was your first impression when you saw the National Speedway Stadium for the first time?
The stadium is like really pretty, we can say. I really like this. It's like quite similar to Wrocław track, so I think it will really help me with getting known this track, and I think that's all.
I mean, you say that the track's very similar to the tracks in Poland, but you've also touched on when we go to away tracks, how different they are in the UK. Is that going to help you develop your skill set further as a rider?
For sure, that's why I choose this year England, because I want to develop my skills this year, because it's my first year of the senior riding, so I want to enter this senior speedway like in a good level of riding, so I think that England will help me with this.
So you've ridden for Wrocław's sort of junior team for
yes.
many years. So is this sort of you pushing your boundaries now, stepping up to senior level in Poland and stepping up to the top level in British Speedway as well?
Yeah, I think it looks just like that. I want to step up with my level of riding, and I think that England is the best way to make it.
Thank you very much, Damien. Max Frick, we've spoken at length, I think, about how pleased you are really with the prospect of set race nights in the UK this season, because Max has been a fixture at this club for many seasons, but fixture classes last year and we didn't see you quite as much as we would like to, and I know that you really enjoy riding for this club, you enjoy riding for this track, so looking forward to getting a proper full season under your belt this year.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully this year I can be at every fixture. In previous years I haven't been able to do so with other commitments elsewhere, whether it be league stuff or World Under 21 Championships or GP qualifiers, or events like this has always got in the way of different race nights. So this year having a set race night, being on a Monday or Wednesday or possibly every now and then a Thursday, works heaps better when it comes to mine and most of the other riders' calendars, to be able to fly in on a set day and race, and there be no issues of any fixture clashes throughout the year. So previous years, also injuries playing a part. I've missed so many meetings, which is always a shame. Like Haley said, I love riding here. I have a great time every time I am here. I enjoy riding with the team. We have a great morale within the team. So to come here and make sure I'm at every fixture this year, it'd be really good.
Absolutely. Now, like Rowan Tungate, Max also took part in the Australian National Championships over the winter. Now, I believe that was your first meeting after you came back from injury, when actually Max himself was a GP reserve. Rode in a few Grand Prix last season, making your debut. Some pretty impressive performances. Injury sort of niggled you a little bit, but your performance in the Aussie National Championships was again second to none, and Max himself is now officially the Australian number 3 seed, just 2 behind Rowan, so a pretty triumphant return to the bike, I would say. Yeah,
for sure. It's been a tough end to last year, that's for sure. Even before I started riding the Grand Prix, I had a neck injury, and then went straight into the Grand Prix and a few things like that. So it was pretty difficult getting back on the bike, and after a period of time off and the loss of strength and stuff like that. And then I just led to a lot of other crashes towards the end of the season. So to start my off season a touch early after another knock to the head wasn't ideal, and I had ongoing issues with that for a long time. So it's I did the Australian Championships. That was my first race back, just took it on as getting used to riding again. How I felt and stuff like that. I hadn't ridden really at all up until that point. So it was great to get back on the bike and do some racing in the off season to help prepare for this season. And now after recovering and lots of training and stuff like that, I'm feeling really good ahead of this year.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Max. Dan Bealey, down at the second to last at the end over there. Now, Dan, it's fair to say that Dan Bealey's had a whirlwind career to this point. I think it was only 2 years ago that he first got on a speedway bike, and since then he's progressed through to National League number 1. He's progressed through to the Championship. He's now his 2nd season in the Premiership and only his 3rd season of racing. I think that's fair to say quite remarkable, Dan. But you're such a chilled out chappy. I don't think it's something you've really given an awful lot of thought to. But just to sort of walk us through those first 2 seasons you've had.
It's been great, really. I kind of didn't expect to go to Edinburgh for my first season. It just kind of happened, and if I knew more about speedway, I probably wouldn't have done it as well. But I think that was a great moment, and I loved it there, and the management was good, and I liked the track, and I think that helped me a lot as a rider. And then last year was great. Towards the end of the season, I felt really good on the bike, really comfortable and confident, and kind of felt like everything was coming together.
Now, I mean, you've claimed some quite interesting victories over the course of last year. I mean, I think one of your more memorable quotes that sticks in my mind was when I asked you about the race you managed to beat Freddie Lindgren, and your response to me was that, well, at least you earned back the 90 quid you paid watching him in Cardiff, or something along those lines. But I mean, with performances like that against riders of that kind of calibre, and looking at the guys in the main body of the team, is it fair to say that you could potentially be challenging some of your teammates to move into the main body of the team this year?
I don't know, maybe, but we're all here as a team. We're all here to work together. I'm not really looking at anyone thinking I want your spot. We're all here to work together. And, wherever I'm in the team, whether it's at 7 or higher up, I'm still going to put the same effort in and go for the same results.
To that, thank you, Dan Bealey. And last but definitely not least, one of our second newcomers, Jai Etheridge. Now, Jai, again, similar to Dan Bealey, you're still fairly new to the speedway game in Britain. You've had a couple of seasons over here. You, I think, started with Edinburgh as well. Moved over to Berwick last season, and you were named Rider of the Year for the club. You're now back with them, and you're moving into your Premiership debut with Bellevue. So again, another big year for yourself.
Yeah, that's it. Like a lot more riding than that this year. We're doing the 2 leagues as well, so I think that's going to help me progress a lot more. And instead of just the 30 meetings in the 1 league, you're getting 60 or 70, depending on how we go. So yeah, I think it's going to help me progress on and hopefully hold my own.
I mean, as we say, looking at the team we've got assembled here today, there's a lot of potential for you to learn a lot from your teammates, and as well with Mark Lemon in charge. Obviously you guys will be very familiar with each other from Aussie racing as well, so lots of different minds to give you different advice, you would say.
Yeah, as we're quite a young team, there's a lot of experience along everyone, so I think we all bounce off each other, and I'm here to just learn and just keep charging.
Thank you, Jai. Well, Mark, it's an interesting point that Jai has just made there about how young this team is this season, but yet they've got so much experience between them.
Is that me included?
In you included.
There you go. No, it is. I think you know, it's nice to have experience. I mean, like, you don't get sort of, you know, Greg Hancock's at 46 years of age in every team and every club. So obviously, yeah, the youth's very important. You know, the exuberance they show, and sort of, you know, we've got to remember this is a dangerous sport, and these guys are pretty much daredevils. So the youth side of it helps, and you know, it's sort of there's a nice balance. You know, we've got, you know, Craig's got, you know, plenty of experience at the top end. So and obviously we've got the youngsters down the bottom end. So I think it's a nice blend to have. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, they've got to perform, and I think, you know, what we have here is a team that's capable of improving right across the board, and you know, I think we can keep them all happy and safe and, you know, fast. It should be a good season.
Absolutely, and just touching on the season as a whole, I mean, you may have noticed a couple of the lads wearing the shirts. British Speedway, and in fact Bellevue Speedway this year will celebrate its 90th anniversary. The club first had a race meeting in 1928, actually next door at the dog track, before moving over to High Road 1929. Back to the dog track again 1988, and then subsequently here to the National Speedway Stadium in 2016. And Mark Lemon, we've got 3 riders left to announce for that meeting. 4 of them are Bellevue Aces, who we've already announced, of course. Craig, Stevie, Rowan and Dan are all part of that meeting. We've got some amazing stars coming back, obviously, for that match as well. March the 24th, Saturday night, Matty Zagar, the world champion, Jason Doyle will be here, Niels Christian Everson. It's going to be an amazing night, isn't it?
Yeah, a host of international stars to celebrate, you know, the 90th year of Bellevue Speedway. I mean, it's phenomenal to think, you know, it's the oldest club, you know, like, what would I say, in history, but certainly in Britain. And you know, it's just amazing the history that this club has is, you know, second to none. You know, so obviously not known as the world famous Bellevue Aces for nothing. You know, I feel quite privileged to be involved with the club. I don't confess to be an historian. You know, I'm a team manager first and foremost. So you know, we this year we want to celebrate that with the fans. You know, it's a great stadium here at the National Speedway Stadium here in Manchester. So it's with a club with a rich history. You know, we hope to have a great year to you know, sort of basically, you know, support what's done in the past and bygone eras.
And just finally, as well, as we mentioned, that the featured event will be the Peter Craven Memorial, but we're not just celebrating Speedway, we're celebrating all kind of different forms of Speedway on the night. We've got, I think, potentially we've got some sidecar racing going on, vintage classes, we've got the youth classes, we've got a lot going on, haven't we? Yeah,
we're going to see some young stars, you know, the Colts, and then obviously the 250 races, the juniors and the youths, and the old vintage, the Men in Black, which you know, obviously many of the people will remember those, you know, single cylinders, you know, straight out exhaust pipes making loads of noise and great smells back on the track, and obviously the upright generation, we're going to see them, you know, to see the transition, because obviously many of these spectators have seen the transition of the sport, you know, evolve over the time. So it'll be a nice blend of motorcycles to witness around this great track.
Absolutely.